March 1963 was one of the biggest months in Marvel in Silver Age. This was the month Spider-Man swung into his own series, Iron Man made his armored debut, and the Hulk story took a strange new turn. Let's break it down. Fantastic Four number 12. For the first time, Marvel brought together two of its strongest characters, the Hulk and the Thing. The story begins when the military mistakes Ben Grimm for the Hulk, leading to General Thunderbolt Ross asking the Fantastic Four for help. Reed, Sue, Johnny and Ben travel to New Mexico where they encounter Bruce Banner and his young assistant Rick Jones. What follows is the very first Hulk vs. Thing battle, a clash of raw power versus unstoppable strength, set against a Cold War spy plot involving a saboteur called the Wrecker. This issue was historic. It proved Marvel's heroes didn't exist in isolation, but in shared universe, where characters could meet, fight, and clash in ways readers never seen before. Strange Tales 106. This one is a smaller tale, but it's important for character building. Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, feels like the most valuable member of the Fantastic Four. When Carl Zanti, a slick conman posing as the world's greatest acrobat, flatters him into teaming up, Johnny briefly leaves the Fantastic Four to form the Torrid Twosome. Of course, it's all a scam, and the Torch ends up unwittingly breaking into a bank. Once the truth comes out, he rejoins the Fantastic Four, learning a tough lesson about family and loyalty. These early Strange Tales stories weren't as groundbreaking, but they deepened Johnny's character, reminding readers that Marvel heroes made mistakes and had to own them. Journey into Mystery 90. Thor's adventures leaned hard into science fiction here. Alien invaders called the Carbon Copymen arrive from the planet Zarta using their shape-shifting powers to impersonate humans. Even Jane Foster and the mayor of New York. Their plan? Replace key figures until they can take over Earth. Thor uncovers the scheme, defeats their leader Ugarth in battle, and uses a clever trick to trap the aliens permanently. He forces them to transform into trees, knowing they can't think to transform back. It's weird, pulpy, and very Silver Age, but it also showed Marvel experimenting with high-concept sci-fi wrapped inside the superhero action. Amazing Spider-Man number 1. March 1963 gave us one of the most important comics of all time. Amazing Spider-Man number 1. After his debut in Amazing Fantasy number 15, Peter Parker finally swung into his own series. The issue gave us two stories. In the first, Peter tries to use his powers for money, only to clash with J. Jonah Jameson, who starts his crusade against Spider-Man while praising his astronaut son John Jameson. Spider-Man ends up saving John from a doomed space capsule, but instead of being hailed as a hero, he's smeared as a menace. The second story is Spidey trying to join the Fantastic Four only to learn they don't pay salaries. Instead, he finds himself battling the Chameleon, a master of disguise, a Soviet spy. These stories cemented Spider-Man as Marvel's everyman hero, powerful but always misunderstood. Tales to Astonish number 41. Henry Pym's adventures as Ant-Man took a wild turn into another dimension. Scientists across Earth are disappearing, and Hank is captured by a tyrant named Kula. The villain plans to use Earth's scientific minds to build a weapon for conquest. Ant-Man rallies insects, frees the prisoners, and ultimately has Kula struck down with his own weapon. It's pure sci-fi pulp with superhero twist. While these stories weren't as iconic as Spider-Man or the Hulk, they kept Marvel's universe varied, blending superheroics with science fiction, mystery, and fantasy. Tales of Suspense number 39. This month also gave us Iron Man's unforgettable debut. Tony Stark, genius inventor and playboy, is captured in Vietnam by the tyrant Wong Chu after shrapnel wounds his heart. Forced to build weapons for his captors, Tony instead creates the Iron Man armor, a clunky grey suit with a chest plate that keeps him alive. With the help of Professor Yin Sen, who sacrifices his life to buy Tony's time, Stark escapes and uses the armor to defeat Wong Chu. It's a story of technology, Cold War paranoia, and sacrifice, the foundation of Iron Man's legacy. Later versions would update the setting, but the themes of genius, responsibility, and survival remain timeless. Incredible Hulk number 6. Hulk's 6th issue introduced the Metal Master, an alien who can control metal at will. While Banner wrestled with his transformation, at one point even becoming Hulk with Banner's face, the Metal Master wreaked havoc outside. Hulk ultimately defeats him with his brute force, but with a trick, a fake non-metallic rocket launcher. It's also the issue where Rick Jones forms the Teen Brigade, a network of teenagers connected by ham radio. They'd play a surprising role in Marvel's future, even helping bring the Avengers together later that year. Though Hulk's solo series ended after this issue, his impact was undeniable. He was too big a character to disappear for long. March 1963 changed everything. It gave us Spider-Man's fifth series, Iron Man's origin, Hulk's first cancellation, and one of the Marvel's earliest crossovers. The shared universe was coming together, and Marvel Comics would never be the same again. Follow for more Comics Guy stories.